The reunion was a perfect storm of red-checked tablecloths, steaming buffet trays, and Fleetwood Mac rattling the windows. It was messy, loud, and for the first time in years, I let myself hope. People smiled. Someone handed me sangria. My dad was laughing like he'd just remembered how. Maybe, I thought, this will be the year no one cries in the car. My sister, Marin, orbited the room in a white sundress, glowing. She carried a gift, a frame wrapped in tissue paper. I'd brought one, too, a reservation for my parents at the French bistro they always dreamed of. I'd tucked the envelope under their plate before they sat down. That was the night I'd imagined, quiet gestures, nothing more. Then Marin took the microphone. She gave a rehearsed little laugh. I just have a little something for our amazing parents. She presented the frame. It was a collage of the three of them, vacations, selfies, birthdays. There was no space for me, not even on the edges. My mom stood, glass raised. This, she announced, beaming at Marin, is the daughter who's always loved us. A ripple of applause. Then, louder, a blade aimed at me. The other one? She's never lifted a finger. The room froze. A fork clattered on a plate. In that silence, I felt the weight of 9 years, the mortgage payments, the bills, the overtime I'd worked so they could keep their house, dissolve into nothing. I didn't speak. I didn't cry. I simply stood, smiled a thin, final smile, and walked out. The only sound was the quiet shattering of my own loyalty. The next morning, my phone glowed with 38 missed calls. The first few were from my mom, then Dad, then, the masterpiece, 14 from Marin. 14. The girl who only called for tax advice had become a telemarketer overnight. I picked up on the 15th ring, curiosity outweighing generosity. Oh, thank God. Marin's voice was shrill. We didn't know where you went. Are you okay? I'm great, I said, sipping my coffee. Well, we can't get on the boat. The sightseeing cruise? They said the card was declined. Ah, I said, that's it. A pause. Well? The card was mine. I cancelled it. But why? Mom told 52 people I've never lifted a finger. I explained, my voice flat. I decided to make it true. Another, longer silence. Okay, but the whole trip? She sputtered. Yep, the lodging, too. The cabin was in my name. They don't have a way back. Then I guess you'll need to pay for their tickets. I don't have the money. That's okay, I said. You're the daughter who's always loved them. I'm sure they'll understand. I hung up. There was no victory, just a cold, still clarity. They had called her when they wanted company. They called me when the water heater broke. She gave them time. I gave them money. Guess which one got the standing ovation? So when I got home that night, I hadn't raged. I'd opened my laptop and begun the quiet, systematic process of erasing myself from their finances. Every autopay, every transfer, cancelled. The mortgage, the utilities, the emergency credit card they used for concert tickets, gone. They had made their choice publicly. They could live with the consequences privately. I wasn't angry. I was just done paying for the privilege of being invisible. The first sign they'd hit a wall was an alert on my phone. The joint account I'd let them use had 2 failed login attempts from an unrecognized device before it locked itself. Oops. Their surrender began with a knock at 9:30 that night. I didn't answer immediately. I stood with my back to the wall, listening. Then, my mother's voice, thin and tentative. Lauren? I opened the door. She stood there, makeup less, wrapped in one of those cardigans she wears when she wants to look pitiful. My dad was her shadow, arms crossed, a silent sentinel. Can we come in? She asked. No, I said. We can talk here. She flinched at the publicness of my porch. We just want to clear the air. I'm sure you do. What happened at the reunion? She started. You mean your speech? I clarified. The one where you told 52 people I'd never lifted a finger? It came out wrong. Did it? It sounded perfectly clear to me. It was the moment. She pleaded. Marin had just given us that beautiful collage. And she's been having such a hard time. She's always having a hard time. It's her default setting. She's trying. She just wanted to do something nice. So you crowned her the good daughter and threw me to the wolves for applause. Got it. That's not fair, she whispered. Fair? I let out a short, dry laugh. Fair is paying over $150,000 of your life over 15 years and being told you've never lifted a finger. The number hung in the air, a tangible thing. My dad finally blinked. My mother's face went slack. I hadn't planned to say it, but watching it land felt like dropping a weight I'd carried for a decade. That number's real, by the way, I added. Mortgage, utilities, groceries, Marin's stress-induced credit card debt. It all adds up. We never asked you to, my dad said, finding his voice. Exactly, I agreed. You just accepted it, year after year after year. A heavy silence fell. My mom studied the chipped paint on my doorframe. Then, the pivot. So this is about money? No, I said, my voice flat. It's about you publicly erasing me and expecting me to keep funding the illusion. We didn't think you'd take it so personally. A real laugh escaped me this time. Well, now you know. That's when she deployed the soft voice. The ultimate weapon. We just want to fix this. We love you. Then you should have said that instead of rewriting history with a speech and a photo frame. She nodded. A pantomime of understanding. But then, the inevitable. Marin never meant to hurt you. She didn't say it. You did. The silence that followed was the truest thing we'd shared all night. Finally, I said, if you're here to ask me to start paying the mortgage again, you've got the wrong daughter. And I closed the door. 2 days later, Marin arrived. She rang the bell like she was signaling a fire, then barged past me before I could speak. The entitlement was breathtaking. Do you have any idea what you're doing to them? She demanded, already in the center of my living room. Enlighten me. They're panicking. The mortgage is due in 3 days and they don't have it. And you didn't warn them? I asked, feigning surprise. She rolled her eyes. Mom was caught up in the moment at the reunion. Then let the moment cover the bills. You're the star of the show. You're being spiteful. I'm being literal. You all declared I contributed nothing. I'm simply agreeing with you. They're our parents. You're just going to let them drown? No. I'm going to watch you learn to swim. You live there. You don't pay rent. But you had plenty of time for glitter glue collages. That's a low blow. Not as low as your speech. Frustration twisted her features. They need help. Then get a job. The words hit their mark. A tiny crack appeared in her performative outrage. She was smart enough to know the game was up. She left without another word. The slam of my door her final rebuttal. The public campaign started on Facebook. A smiling reunion photo from my mother. Family is everything. Even when some forget that. The comments were a chorus of coded support. She's always been distant. So sensitive. If the truth hurts. They didn't use my name. They didn't have to. So I replied, not with words, but with evidence. A single post, a gallery of screenshots, wire transfers, mortgage payments, bill confirmations, all culminating in a final tally, $147,000. I didn't write a caption. I just posted it and closed the app. By morning, the original post had vanished. The text started rolling in from extended family, a mix of shock and awkward support. From Marin, just 3 words, we need to talk. The next time she appeared, she looked hollowed out, shadows under her eyes, a reusable grocery bag dangling from her hand like a dead weight. Can we talk? She asked, her voice stripped of its usual drama. Hello to you, too, I said, stepping aside. She didn't meet my eyes. They made me get a job, she blurted out, as if announcing a diagnosis. Welcome to the real world. I'm serious, Lauren. Her voice cracked. They said I have to help now because you're gone. They said you were the one who made everything work. She froze, realizing the confession she'd just let slip. I didn't smile. I just looked at her. They chose you, Marin, in front of everyone. You were the daughter who always loved them. I didn't know she'd say that. And you didn't say a word to stop her. I was shocked. No, I said quietly. You loved it. She had no reply. The truth was a pill she couldn't swallow. They need help, she whispered, defeated. Then help them. I can't do it all. I looked at the unraveled woman in front of me. Then you'd better try harder. This time, when I closed the door, there was no slam, just the quiet, final click of a lock.